Hello. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. 2024 has given us some of the dumbest news of all time so far, and the year's just getting started. But things just keep getting wackier. This is the latest development on the Ronnie Radke and Sanguisugabog fiasco. It appears the two camps are beefing via Twitter and Facebook because, where else would you air your grievances in 2024, But anyway, it appears this all started because the guy, Machine Gun Kelly, released a new guitar that looks like a razor blade. It looks pretty stupid. And what's crazy is you couldn't make this stupid shit up, really. Looks like a guy on Twitter from a band called Stabbed, who are apparently like some death metal band and that kind of like 200 stab wounds vein. Probably some relatively generic and forgettable death metal music, but I'm sure it's better than what Ronnie Radke's doing. But I'd never heard of Stabbed. Maybe they're just as bad. But the guy from Stabbed on Twitter was apparently offended by Machine Gun Kelly's guitar, which sent Ronnie Radke into a tirade. He started sending out threats, talking about how wimpy the scene is, and I'm wondering what scene he's talking about because Ronnie Radke is not in the metal scene. Um, anyway, so here's where Sanguisugabog comes in. They're into like the meme thing. They like internet drama, and they're kind of like a Gen Z band, I guess. So they felt the need to insert themselves in the drama. Normally I'd say that's lame, but I mean they seem to be winning the battle here. Ronnie's been talking shit, threatening to beat up the Sanguisugabog guys, and I'm sorry, man, but their singer is like some football jock guy. I mean, he looks like some hunting and fishing like redneck dude. He could easily take a crap on Ronnie Radke, who's like 90 pounds and a wimp. So the Sanguisugabog guys have declared that they're going to meet Ronnie Radke when his lame ass band Falling in Reverse comes to Ohio in May of this year. And Ronnie's talking tough on Twitter, but I think he knows deep down that he's not going to win the fight. I mean, I'm not in favor of violence generally, but I think Ronnie Radke probably deserves to have an example made of him. I mean, he's really just a turd. Just a human turd. And I'd love to see the Sanguisugabog guys just flush him. To give you some background info, if you're not like up to date on horrible music, Ronnie Radke, he's like a scene kid, deathcore darling, like all the Invader Zim anime Naruto girls back in like 2008 were into Ronnie Radke. I think he looks like a wimp, but he's in the awful band called Escape the Fate that was enjoyed by like people who think they're into heavy shit, but they're not. It's total dookie, totally horrible music. And from what I can tell, glancing at Ronnie's Wikipedia page, man, he's only getting worse. He's been in Bless the Fall. They suck. Now he's in Fallen in Reverse. I mean, all these bands suck. They all sound the same. Um, I mean, I assume if you're actually into that sort of thing, you can probably pick out like the nuance or something. But at the same time, I can't even really imagine someone sitting down and listening to an entire album by these bands. Uh, Granted, to be fair, I listen to a ton of death metal and black metal music that's essentially interchangeable. But I think anyone with good taste, man, even if you hate death metal and black metal, you can at least hear those bands and hear like some passion and artistry. Like you can be like, oh, I hear a Sabbath part, I hear a Motorhead part, I hear some hardcore influence, I hear some prog influence. You don't get any of that with deathcore. It just sounds like it exists in some sort of eternal 2008, 2009 vacuum, like this hot topic purgatory genre or something. I mean, I can't stand it. Uh, on top of that, man, I mean, Ronnie Radke, take a look at this guy's Wikipedia page. He met up to fight someone in 2006 at 2:30 in the afternoon. He was like 23 at the time, so I mean way too old to be meeting people for fights at fucking 2:30 p.m. broad ass daylight. Landed his ass in jail after one of his buddies ended up fucking taking another man's life basically. And I mean, dude, okay, now if that was some black metal guys in like 1994 or something, it might be cool. Maybe. But knowing that it was a group of like the lamest Clockwork Orange like droogs imaginable. Like Like picture like the guys from the Warriors, you know, the movie The Warriors, but like a gang of like wimpy, skinny guys decked out in like gauges and Invader Zim backpacks and trip pants and shit. It just makes the whole thing a very lame affair, you know. So Ronnie, he landed his ass in jail, and don't want to say anything, but from what I've heard, some very bad things happened to him in jail, which, you know, use your imagination. But anyway, went back to jail for assaulting his girlfriend a few years later. So that's pretty cool. Good for him. Wow, you know, sounds like a real douchebag, man. And got accused of sexual assault in 2015, but I will say he was cleared of that. But you know, who knows? And it looks like this guy also assaulted one of his own fans at a fucking Six Flags amusement park, man. So this guy is just problem after problem after problem. As for Sanguisugabog, now I can't really call myself a fan of them either, but they're at least a metal band. I mean, yeah, they rip off early Carcass, they rip off Mortician. Tons of bands are doing that, have been doing that forever, will keep on doing that. But you know, they to their credit, you know, somehow they've managed to get pretty big in the underground. I mean, I saw them once with Nile and Incantation. I think they did their entire discography in like 20 minutes or something like that. You know, it was competent, but you know, a little boring, a little groovier than I expected. I assume these dudes probably grew up worshiping like Slam and shit, but at least it seems like they went back and got into like earlier stuff. You know, I mean, I doubt Ronnie Radke's even heard Carcass. He would probably say Heart Work is too heavy, honestly. Um, but I would be surprised if Ronnie Radke's heard Slayer, honestly. I mean, he's that much of a dumb wimp, you know. So I hate to say it, but I hope he loses the fight with Sanguisugabog. Can't wait for May, I guess, man. Let's see what happens, you know. Maybe Cat Williams can weigh in on this one. I don't know. Let us know in the comments what you think about this whole affair. You know, are you a 14-year-old girl who loves Ronnie Radke? Probably shouldn't be watching the channel. Or, you know, are you the opposite of a 14-year-old girl who loves Ronnie Radke? Which would be, I guess, everyone else in the universe. Let us know and don't forget to subscribe.